All right, D&D stuff. What do you got for us, Jesse?
Right, so the first thing I wanted to talk about, and it's kind of stupid and tedious, but our opening, our intro, I, I'm thinking we do a one-time roll initiative, and then that whoever rolled the highest goes first with, "Hey, my name is blank. I play blank blank." Like, my name is Jesse. I play a mouse, uh, and the fighter mouse race, and then the next person goes, and then the next person goes.
I'm Jesse, the dungeon master. I play all the other voices.
There you go, exactly. But in your perspective, it would be the other way.
From a creative standpoint here, just because it just came to my mind, don't want to lose it. I feel like our title, I feel like there should be some sort of mentioned either in the first episode or the intro, something how, a group of friends separated by the Atlantic Ocean and an 8-hour time zone difference, but still want to play D&D. Something like that. I think that might be cool to tease out. So just
Yeah,
a thought.
definitely. I think that because I was gonna do a hey, welcome to our podcast, kind of I guess audio recording, and explain things thoroughly. But I think it would be good to kind of do a snapshot of what you just said. We are friends who wanted to come together and play D&D, and even though we're across the country or across the world from each
Across
other,
the
or across the
Across the
pond
pond.
from each other.
across the pond from each other.
Exactly, with the accents and all.
Who would have thought it, hey? Who would have thought it?
That
I don't have an accent. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh yeah, I heard it. I know. So I agree. I think that would be great to have like a snapshot of that in the very beginning, because that's kind of the podcast name is Across the Pond. So yeah, it's a good thing it gets recorded because I don't do notes.
Good job.
Yeah, and the intro thing, yeah, figure out just kind of a succinct description of what her character is, and just I saw that's another good thing to think about, like you said.
Yeah.
One thing to be taking note of, because I'm guilty of it a lot as well, because I'm just really excited about this group, is the over talking, where 2 or 3 people are talking in time, because I know Jesse will probably have to edit that out. So once again, I'm totally guilty of this, and I need to work on it as well. It's just making sure we have a good audio product to present to the audience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have definitely run into that countless times in the in the editing. But it as well, and it's obvious that it's gonna happen, is the laughter. Like,
Yes.
laugh, but that's fine. I mean, I just delete it. I'm just like, it's great that we're having fun and all that, but it you're just in the way of the person talking.
Yeah, I mean, if it's a really good burn or a really good joke, then of course keep the laughter in, so you can just emphasize how awesome that was. But
Yeah.
of course, edit out what you feel is unnecessary.
Oh, I've edited out so much.
Meh.
The joys of being the editor in chief.
Yes, exactly. I
Look
think
at me, I know to edit.
we started at like
Wait till you do like a drunk podcast, Jess, and you have to like edit 4.5 hours into an hour. Yeah, trust me. It's educational. You have to leave some of the good stuff on the cutting room table, but
and it's like there so many like you said, there's good stuff, but I have to delete it or somehow edit it because it just doesn't work. And so yeah, I'm definitely learning that stuff is in there, but it's not like we'll get it. It's like a part of me was like, oh, we could do like the hand raising thing, but that just sounds tedious, and I'm not gonna pick people to talk.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's kind of like we can all see, like, obviously not right now, but you can see when people want to say something, it's just basically just I think for me, I was like, I'm going to say something and then I'm just going to have a sit back because that's what my character would like to be, and then just have others do their thing and then give them a little bit of a spotlight. I think it's just like across the board would be good to like kind of mention it. But from what I heard, from what we had in our group, everyone did a pretty good job of Yeah, there was some talking over each other, but like when people needed to talk and stuff, everyone like gave them like time to do what they wanted to do. So it was like really, really smooth, I thought.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I made sure that the key points where people were like, this is their moment, I gave that to them. But then there were times when it was like when I told you all to roll perception, you all were like, oh, I rolled a 9, I rolled a 2, I rolled a 2, I rolled a nat 1, and it was like, I
Yeah.
everybody's saying it at the same time. How do and so
Yeah.
I think that comes obviously with time. Like obviously you can just put like a format out there where it's just like everyone rolls and then just go like so and so what did you get? So and so what did you get? So and so what did you get?
so good.
You do
That's
it
a
like
great
that.
idea.
So then you can
Yeah.
just be like everyone just rolls
Mm.
and just we have a silence before the storm of like what did you get? And that person can like say their number, but then obviously explain like, oh, that's also with my I don't know, +3 from this, or just like I got a nat 1. Everyone laugh. Come on, seriously, this is like my joke. And then everyone gives it a little bit more like, wow, something sounds like someone died. And I think it just works really well if you could do it like that in some sort of way. But obviously that's over time that happens, like because we're all just willing to just say, I got this, I did this, let's do it, yeah, whoa, you know. 'Cause we get,
And this is all just to help the editing. I mean, I want us to overall have fun. So if that's just too tedious, then it's not a big deal to edit out.
I wonder if it would be better if we just kind of like, I mean, somewhat, we kind of just be silent or whatever, and then if somebody jumps in and says it, and because it's probably easier to edit out silence than like,
Yeah.
like, so don't be too eager to shout it out, like, oh, I got this, I got this, I got this, like maybe let somebody, maybe whoever got the like funniest one, or like a nat one, or like 20,
Just look at somebody's face. No, I think it is a good idea to be like, okay, Lee, what'd you get? Or Keith,
Yeah.
what'd you get?
yeah,
I think
Okay.
that would definitely help
yeah,
the
it's
flow
just,
of it.
it is kind of fun because then it also then you can say that person is about to speak, so they can have a spiel, then you can have some sort of like banter, and then you can go, okay, cool, next person, so you don't have that hilarious overlapping all the time.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, are you gonna call us like character names though when you do that kind of thing?
Yeah, of course. Of
Oh
course.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Make sure
Yeah.
stay in character.
Yeah, I definitely need to do that. The funniest thing I did notice was Goro. Like, everybody said it differently.
No, just think Goro from like the best way of describing it. Just think Mortal Kombat, people. That's all it is.
I know, but it was just like when I was listening through it, it was like even I was
Goro?
like, Goro.
Guru. It could be a joke because I'll be like, at some point I'll be like, none of you get my name right, so I'm just going to be quiet.
Yeah.
Just keep
Go
brooding.
go gadget Goro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
No, I think that's great. What else was there? So I don't know if we remember too much of like the last episode, but was it because I remember Keith, you made a mention of like, should you be rolling against each other or should you just do it as a role play thing?
Mm.
I was listening to and it's like it would make it faster, but it does the dynamic. It just isn't there for me yet. But what do you guys think?
I think it would be good to. I don't know what Keith's going to say, but I feel like going against each other at the moment would be good because we don't know each other. So then, obviously, when we've become more of a unit, I feel like in the episode anyway, it was like, oh, these guys are really good at like investigating. I'm going to shut up and let them do their job then. And like kind of feel like a team, like this is your moment to shine. You do this. That's cool. And this person can do that. And I don't know. What do you think, people?
Yeah, I mean, I feel conflicted, but understanding where I feel like, I should be able to do this. Why do I have to leave it up to chance and randomness? But I totally get what you guys mean. It's like we're still learning each other, and it's like I want to resist this. So yeah, of course you're gonna have to like roll against to see if I do it. I mean, part of me is like, I really want this to happen. Why do I have to roll for it? But no, that's just me kind of being a baby here. So I understand why the rolling happens.
I kind of like that it is like that, at least for the beginning, just because, yeah, it is like, we have these like characters that we just, they don't know each other yet. So it's like kind of, I do understand how like rolling for it would like make sense, at least initially, since we don't necessarily know or trust each other yet. But I don't think that would make sense for like, Hava and PJ to do that. Like that wouldn't make sense for those two characters, or same thing with Goro and Leaf. So just
yeah, because I feel like it has kind of like a, dare to bring up comic books again, as I always seem to do. I feel like it has like a kind of Suicide Squad. You know who's good and who's going to do this, who's going to do that. So as the adventures continue and we want to do this and we want to do that, obviously certain people would obviously take point and just go like, you know what you're doing, you do this. And if we need to help you, just, we are here, but this is your time to shine. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, don't die, kind of thing.
Yeah, and people, and you guys will all have your story arcs to fall on. Like, there will be moments where one of you will shine above the rest, because that's just how D&D works. I mean, you all have your own destinies, you all have your own paths that you're taking, so there will be times when PJ's more addressed because he's trying to figure out this one problem that's going on with his village, stuff like that, and you and Goro will be with his, once you get to the main city and you're gonna meet your father. That's gonna
be fun.
It's gonna be you and awkward and yeah.
Oh yeah, just a bit.
PJ will help the village, and Goro will learn to love again.
I think Goro will learn to love again by using his fist.
I think it's going to be a Game of Thrones of just the crossbow to the chest.
It is. I feel like the worst thing about it is I feel like my dad and me are basically, not towards the end of the show because it kind of got stupid, but the whole fact of like the mountain and the hound. That's how I feel like it.
That's exactly what I want.
Yeah, because like my dad's awesome, but I don't believe in what he does. He's a bit of a badass, and I'm a bit of a badass, but I know when to draw the line. And he's like more mountain, where he's just like, I'm powerful and kill everything. And the hound kind of has a soul, even though he doesn't really in a way. But he has more values than his brother, which is kind of weird because the whole Clegane line are not that nice. Just to be honest, it's not great.
It's true, but it's such a good show.
It is. Read the books, people, please.
I really want to.
That's what we're gonna say.
What is it called again?
Oh, Game of Thrones.
Oh.
Or for you, it would be like a Song of
Sorry,
Ice and
zoned out.
It's fine. That's what a lot of people do. It's fine. It's all good.
Yeah.
I watched the first episode. I was just like, this is weird.
Yeah, the very end of the first episode's really bad.
But then I was like really curious, so I just like Wikipedia'd it and like looked up some of the storylines of the Targaryens, and like the part with the melted crown, the Targaryens, and I was like, the part with the melted crown, I was like, I kind of want to see that actually, but
yeah, you don't really like Viserys. He's the absolute epitome of like, I'm so glad he went out that way because he was so horrible.
I know. And then after I read about that, I was like, that's kind of cool and like horrible, but like I want to see that. But I never looked it up.
Well, no, I think that's what's also really good with good storytelling is because even though we're getting off topic and not talking about D&D, the fact is like you love characters and you hate characters, and then there's characters you love to hate.
Yeah,
and it's just that's a really good storytelling.
It's like Harry Potter. What's her name? Oh man,
Hermione.
No, what? I love Hermione.
Okay. Like, I was gonna say she's annoying as
Dolores Umbridge.
Yeah, fair play. Yeah, let's get our Harry Potter quotes in for the day. Yeah, let's do it.
I'm just trying to relate to everybody.
I know, I feel bad. Like comic books and other nerd stuff is what I know, so I'm kind of judging the group. What it could be. If I throw something out, will they understand? Probably not. Never mind.
Hey, I'm all about comics.
It's all good.
So one of my, just being open and honest here, and then one of my things that I want to work on developing, I don't know if I can do a character voice, I don't know if I can sustain that, but another way of approaching characters is having certain speaking styles or certain habits or certain phrases. Like I think in The Mandalorian where, this is the way, or I have spoken, something like that. So just that's my personal journey here, figuring out who my character is, what he works with. I was trying to go more of like a kind of like a nervous, not used to being kind of a leader, making a lot of decisions, going back to my backstory of being the youngest. So always being outshined by someone else. So kind of having that nervous quality. So I'm kind of flesh that out, kind of figure out where I want to go with him. So that's kind of my journey I'm working on here.
I like that whole idea, like you say with the Mandalorian. Maybe we can introduce that over time where we have code words when we're in certain situations and the character says something and we all pick up on like, okay, we're in a shady part of town. I've just understood this. And what you've said makes a lot of sense. Let's start walking backwards without anyone realizing this and stuff like that. That'd be pretty cool.
Hey team, I don't think there's a kettle corn stand here.
We just have random things, random words like, guys, I think we need to banana split. Oh, okay. And don't make it so obvious, but you know what I mean.
Oh my god, so bad.
But
I know.
But I do like I did notice that you did change your mannerism of speech when you spoke, Keith. I did notice that and it allowed me to understand when you were in character and when you weren't in character. So that was very good. I mean, you all kind of did something similar, so that was very helpful.
I feel like I was way too high pitched, like my voice, because I was like, oh, like all the time. I was like,
no, but that was very helpful. If that's the way you want to go, yeah.
I mean, I feel like that worked, but I'm like, I don't know. I think it's weird listening to your voice in recording. So when I listen to it, I'll probably be like, what was I doing with that? But it'll probably be fine. It's just weird listening to your own voice, I think, and it sounds you think you sound weird or something, but.
No, that's 100% true. Everyone's kind of like weirded out by hearing their own voice, but over time you'll kind of get used to it and understand how to do it sometimes. So it's kind of good.
Yeah, to prepare for this podcast, I literally would rant for a short amount of time and then just listen to it because I hate the sound of my voice. I just do it. It's not very pleasing to me. So I would.
And you wanted to do a podcast. Good job, mate.
I know, right? And I mean, you guys could also agree that it's horrible, but I literally just sat there and I got up to about 20 minutes of just listening to myself talk, and it worked. I think
I think it is funny though how I sometimes hear like a British accent come in, and then because you've lived there for a pretty long time now, where it does like come in a little bit.
We're a bad influence on him. We are very
hugely.
Yep, hugely.
No, it's good.
I think we need to lay on the California heavy to get Jesse back in the middle. Like, I was going down the 405 South today on the way to the 22 West, on the way to Huntington Beach, and I
just love. I don't know. I just feel like your numbers make me chuckle because they go like, "Where did you go today?" "Oh, I went on the 405. Okay, I'm assuming that's a motorway.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
nice.
May Road.
Because that's what I'm saying. Because like when I drove in Ohio, it was hilarious. They were like, "Oh, Lee, it's easy. You take the 38 to this," and I'm like, "So I take the big road and come off at the smaller road, right?" Thank you. Make sure I turn correctly and know what side I'm driving. Great, good times. Thank you.
Yeah, but for my voice, I definitely shift with whomever's talk last. I've noticed. So. Like Lee just talked, so my voice goes straight to accent.
That's funny.
If one of you guys talks, I'm back into Californian. I don't know why. It just.
Now I just want to throw you a twist, Jesse. Just okay, Keith. What do you do in a world filled with animals and Dungeons and Dragons? Okay.
Yeah, just put on your like film narrator voice. You'll be fine. Let's go. And really gravelly, like, in a world where boys and girls don't make love, what's going on in the world? Like, whatever. I don't know. I didn't know what to say. I lost what I was going to say. Will Harry and Rodney get out of here alive? I don't know. Like, just do whatever. Like, whatever's comfortable to you at the end of the day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thinking back to the last episode, just to jump straight back into that, I think it was... my favorite part, well, actually, I think all DMs probably feel this way. I'm sure every one of you, or except for Davida, have felt like when your characters kind of take the story and you just sit there. It was like when you guys first like met in the water and you were just talking, and I was just like, I don't have to say anything. This is nice.
Yeah, that's it, man.
Yeah, no, that was fun. I really enjoyed that because I was like, I mean, obviously my character is going to automatically be like, okay, who is this? I want to know. I want to meet this person. Like, I'm super curious. And like, I don't even care. I'm not very afraid of things. You know, I don't, I don't fear a lot of things because I don't know about things very much. So I'm just like immediately curious and investigating
and then how Goro was just like, I don't know what's going on here. I'm just gonna. I'm stepping away.
Exactly. Well, if you think about it, you've got like a yin and a yang right there already, character bonding, and it's like, right, I'm just gonna do what my character is and just go like, I don't want to deal with this. I already deal with one person. Now there's two of you. Oh no, I'm good. And just let that character relate, because I think that seems to be one thing I took away from the group is like definitely Sam's character and definitely yours. Wow, was the fact that you have like a good like amount of curiosity that can definitely grow into trouble for the whole group, which is going to be really, really interesting going forward.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of still interested in how like my character is going to be relating to PJ, just because I feel like we are fairly different, even though we're kind of like living, you know, in the same area or whatever. Like, I don't feel like there's as much connection so far as I've had with like some of the other characters. I'm sure that'll come, but like, you know, so far I'm just like, oh yeah, you know, like he's just there. You know, I don't feel like there's a great connection yet. I don't know. What were you thinking, Keith?
Yeah, so that's one thing I found is the dichotomy of writing a backstory for a character, but then having it unfold as you play the game as well, leaving room for improv. And so I can see things happening where like you and me can play off stuff with each other, be like, oh my gosh, it was just like that time back in the village, you remember? You're like, oh yeah, of course. And then you did this. Oh yeah, I guess I did do that. And so build as we go.
Yeah.
So we can figure stuff out together. That'd be fun.
I think we started a good thing like right in the beginning where you just fell in the mud and you're like just like I feel like that was like one of those things like we're gonna go back and tell that story like, oh, remember that one time and you just couldn't get up and you were just like, and then you had to get in the mud again when we went to the river, like
yeah, that was good. And that's also a good thing of going with what the dice did. Like, it was so frustrating in that one. I just like, of all the ways to start, I'm like you know
right
what?
at the beginning.
Yeah, just roll with it. It's like an improv game. Like, all right, what happens next? Here's your setting. I enjoy. It makes me nervous because I don't want to screw it up, but it's fun to come up with stuff on the fly. And I had more sophistication in mind for my character in some sense. So I'm like, you know what? Here's how the dice rolled, so I guess we're changing that.
That's very funny that you had that mindset. That's great. I love that it shifted just like that.
Intelligent but slightly clumsy, perhaps. I feel like I would be the one that's more clumsy though, but
a little OCD, I would say.
Apparently not.
Another thing that I remember was there was a point where one of you asked like, oh, what are we doing? Like, and if I am too focused on, let's say, one or two other characters, I would like that reminder of, hey, don't forget about the rest of us, even if it's by the people I'm talking about, because I'm trying to improv as much as you guys are, but I'm very much on top of my head. And so I will, I don't have a huge list of things. Like, I have a plan and I know it's going to go south. So it's all not written. Everything that we did was the only that was written that was there, that was the orb. And that you guys were supposed to go to it. Like, whatever happened then. Oh, and then that you were supposed to fall in the whirlpool. That was also supposed to happen.
I really did not want to go in there. Like, me, and maybe my character would have, but like, I was like, why would I go in there? Like, I want to check out this orb, get the mouse out, find out what the mouse has to say. I don't want to go into this whirlpool. Like, this is stupid. It's dangerous. It's like, but I'm like, I mean, I guess that's what the game is. I mean, that's what you're supposed to do. Is you're supposed to explore dungeons and you know. But like, part of me was like, I really just don't want to jump in there. Like, but my character would, you know. So like, let's just go with it. You know?
Yeah.
But the funniest thing is, most of the checks in the episode, I was like, good, these are all my good stats. Until you start saying the other things where I'm like, I'm gonna die now. This is great.
Yeah, just wait.
Just wait. There we go.
You're gonna go into a mud cave. You're gonna have to do loads of dex saves.
well, I'm just gonna walk through mud and flame and just get some awesome tribal tattoos. That's all it is. Do it. Just intimidate people by just wiping their blood under my eyes like a quarterback or something, and just go like, "Bring it on."
So yeah, I did have an alternate plan if nothing happened, if you just took it out. I mean that's why I put the mouse there.
Oh. Okay. Well, we're taking the mouse with us, so I
I'm not happy about it. I'll tell you that.
Hey, I was literally just like, well, if we can fit it down this hole, let's just like, I don't know what movie it is, but it's the one where the guy has a cowboy hat and he's riding the nuke all the way down or whatever. I was just waiting for someone just to go down on that.
Dr. Strangelove, I think.
Yeah,
the movie.
that's it.
Never heard of this.
Yeah, I was just waiting for someone just to like cowabunga and just basically surf that all the way down. But I was like, my guy would definitely snap this orb if he stood on it, so no.
Yes.
Another thing I'm excited to see develop, and we had that in the last session, is the liking the character choices, but being frustrated with them as well. Like with Goro, just like I could tell my character would be frustrated with Goro's decisions, but Lee, you making those choices for Goro as a character, I love those choices. Yeah. Even though it like frustrates my character, it's just who am I in this?
Yeah, that's I think the one thing I was like, for me, like I'm always doing what Jess does. I'm always a DM, so I'm never really playing. But then when he asked me to be a part of the podcast, the first thing is like, cool, I already do 3 podcasts. I don't want to do a lot of talking. Let's play a guy that I really like, but don't do a lot of talking, and just goes, right, I have tunnel vision. This is what I'm going to do. And if you don't like it, I'm going to intimidate you. Or I'm just going to stand there, wait for you guys to mess up and then go, cool, do you want to listen to what I was going to do? And then it might fail as well. So it might be hilarious to do that.
So yeah, I'm waiting for Goro to just be so upset that no one's listening to him, or that he's just like, I'm just done, and he just rips somebody's head off.
Exactly.
Just grab the head and pulls it out. Like that's what I'm waiting.
Yeah, just
for.
like Predator it. Just basically one poor like goblin or whatever gets the wrath of my frustration. Just like, no one understands me in this group while I Rubik's Cube this body into place.
Dear God.
Yeah. It's like, are you okay? Give me a minute. Just keep going. Just give me a minute, please.
Really just twist something right now.
I just feel funny. I think it's funny how Hava was just like super like doesn't really care, this giant guy, and like doesn't even like take a second thought like, oh, maybe this guy is scary, like honestly he, like super excited, and then all of a sudden like ignoring him, like because I was so excited about the new thing that I saw. So I like every time I see something new, it's like whatever I was just doing before like completely goes out of my mind, and I don't even care. It's just like, you're in the background, you're like when he grabs the rope from me, and like I see or he tosses me the orb, and I'm just like, oh, okay, so this is the new thing. Like I'm not I'm not concerned about anything else right now. Like almost like single-minded focus or whatever.
But I feel like that kind of plays into your character a little bit, even though it's like you want to kind of melt really well with PJ, but you're so curious, and like your attention span seems to be so short. It just was perfect. Like, oh, here's a gem. Who are you? Oh, back to the gem. Who is this guy?
Yeah.
What's going on? What's going on? And I'm just like, I've had enough. This is just stupid. Who the heck is this? This makes no sense. Oh, no, it's just good.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying playing this character. It's pretty fun. Yeah.
So I'm looking up a list of mannerisms that develop my character here, and I just thought this would be good for the group. So someone made a D100 table of NPC mannerisms if you need to roll one. And so one of them is makes terrible forced puns and stops talking until someone acknowledges it. If I ever do a one shot, I think I want an NPC to be that. I got another mannerism here that I feel is pretty fantastic. So the NPC often brags that they once traveled as an adventurer does until they took a magic missile to the knee.
See, I feel like it's really funny, like how like your character is like supposedly really epic, yet you rolled a 1 and fell in mud. So I'm really excited, Keith, how like your character has started off on such a low that the only way is up from where he starts, and I think that's amazing for a jumping on point for characters. So like my guy doesn't care. We've got two like wannabe treasure hunters, and then we've got an otter who's supposed to be really intelligent, but he basically decided to have a spa day in some mud. And that's pretty much what I will get from the first episode.
I dig that. I dig that.
Yeah,
but I feel like that's what you remember from certain episodes though as well. It's just be like, oh yeah, can you remember the time we did this? Oh yeah, I remember the time when we did that. And that's what makes like D&D so like cool to like, if we do multiple seasons, is like, can you remember like one adventure ago when we did this and we said we would never go back there, but we seem to be wanting to go back there? Yeah. Well, that's going to be fun. Not, you know.
It's exciting. And it like just thinking, like you said, just picturing it all. Like I just picture when Keith is in the water because he is the smallest, and I'm just picturing he's like like swimming towards the orb, and you take out your alchemist kit and you're just like laying it on something, and you're kind of just floating with the water, and it's right in front of you. It painted a very funny picture with this massive turtle, this little.
I'm remembering now the last session. Like I was so frustrated that in that one that I was poring over all the things. I'm like, all right, what do I have as a Kawaso? I'm like, I am a good swimmer. Dang it, I will make this work. Don't take this from me.
But I feel like that's also really, really funny because it's like, oh, you're naturally good at these things. You're naturally good at these things, and when they fail, you're just kind of like, you played off it though for like the whole like first 10 minutes of not even meeting you. I was like thinking of it as a listener, going like, this character has just fallen in mud and is fuming, and he's just about to meet a person who doesn't care, and there's a crazy person who really likes shiny things, and his companion likes shiny things. What's the worst thing that can happen? And then just like later on, you forget to tell him to tie rope and loads of other random stuff. Like, you know, there's certain things that will
Yes,
like
I
just
forgot about that.
yeah, like literally you think about all the things. I was like, oh yeah, okay. So this is how our group met, through a whirlpool and a freaking mouse being caught in some sort of like orb. Awesome.
Yeah.
What the heck, you know? And that's just like, those kind of things you'll always stick out. Like,
Definitely.
it's just really good. Love it.
And then one more thing while on my mind here, playing with our characters and how we're developing them. Like I was noticing now that they had the similarities between Leaf and Hava, and like I think there's a part of me that wanted to like go up to Goro and be like, "Oh, you have one of them too," like talking about kind of the personalities of the character. But like also thinking about it, like Goro was so standoffish, and like I don't want to play my character. I don't want my guy to be a jerk. And so it was like how I was playing my character. I'm like, you know what? He wouldn't make that choice. Like me, Keith wants to make the choice that it sounds funny, but the characters wouldn't do that. So it's just kind of like a possible scenario. But like, you know what? That wouldn't work. And it's playing the character and reading the situation.
But I feel like our characters will definitely grow closer, Keith, now that we're in a freaking hole and we don't know what the heck is down there. And you're probably gonna have a moment to shine, and you're probably gonna have like Goro going like, okay, this guy, even though he's like the size of my leg, you know, he's pretty cool. Like I can go on a few adventures with him, even though we have two annoying like teenagers. It's fine.
And there'll
But you
be
have to remember that.
and there'll be a moment where Goro,
you both can't see.
yeah.
Yeah, well, yes, that's true. I am blind, but hey, who cares? I'll just follow my fists. If I punch things, that's how I'll do it.
I'm sure there'll be a moment where, you know, Goro will have a nice change of heart, and it'll be the heart of gold, and probably not.
Exactly. There
When
might
he
be a
punches
moment.
his father's heart.
Yeah, and there might be a time where I'll just be like, I'm really depressed. Do you want to smoke some like pipe weed with me? That's probably just all I want to do. And then just like sit and just have a good time. Have an ale and cry a little bit. And just basically like, yeah, I'm a really tough guy, but I got daddy issues. Okay. That's pretty much it. That's exactly it. Just be like Bruce Wayne, pretty much. This is exactly Goro's like, yeah, I talk a big game, but seriously, I'm broken inside.
I was also thinking about how my character makes it makes sense. It makes sense that I'm kind of like almost this clueless character, because I am sort of clueless about D&D and all this kind of stuff. So it's like I'm always asking questions and trying to figure things out, and like, you know, so I don't know exactly what's happening, you know. So I'm just gonna kind of try to go with the flow, and that's kind of what my character, you know, for it, like it works it works well with my character and also with me in real life because I don't really know exactly what's happening and all this kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
But I feel that can really root us in reality, though, as well, as a really good thing of like what you wanted to say about like I don't understand D&D or how it works. I can really root in the fact of like, oh yeah, I need to learn what is this, what is that, and ask those questions, and not to feel like be feared about asking those questions, because I know for a fact when stuff starts happening, I'm going to be like, so what do I do? What is this? What dice? What's this? Yeah, smiley face, cool, thank you, GM of greatness. That's one thing you need to do. You need to like kind of
Or
just
hell.
like no, you just brown nose Jesse just a little bit, not too much, because if he starts to feel it, then he's going to drop like a boulder on your head, like your head, or just like, oh yeah, you're just going to get flattened by a hydra or something stupid. That's what's going to happen. Just like, oh, we were so good friends until he killed me.
I do have a turtle dragon hidden somewhere in this map.
Exactly.
that's the thing.
Oh, it's a massive, crazy, scary thing.
It's true.
Okay.
I really want the rod of wonder to turn up and then basically give it to either, Davita or Sam to use, because it would be hilarious as heck.
Oh, no.
Yeah, see, I have no idea how that works. So I'd probably just be waving it around and
Not a lot of people do. So just basically you roll a stupid amount of dice to then go, it casts this spell. You don't know what it's going to shoot out half the time. Like it could be something amazing, or it could be something really stupid. But hey, at least I'm trying to help.
Or do deck of many things.
Oh
Yeah, exactly.
my gosh, deck of many things. I follow an Instagram account, Wild Magic Surge, and they post lots of different wild magic effects, and it's just some of them are just so fantastic. Like all your weapons become like rubber, or the player turns into cookie dough. When they get hit by fire damage, they cook a little bit more. And they got some pretty fantastic ones.
wow.
That's awesome. So I think I'll call it here. Thank you guys for joining us again. Whoever's listening to this, if you are listening to this, and thank you players for having this chat with me.
Yeah, thank you, Jesse.
I'm gonna roll for my goodbye address.
Yeah.
I rolled a 12. We play D&D and it's fun. Thanks, guys.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's so
Sums it up.
professional.
Sums
It
up
is.
right
No, I hope it's like, hopefully if this is going to be used as an episode or whatever, that you guys are along for the ride and you can see us how we're going to change as a group. And like we've only met like a few times, and like now it's like we're getting a little bit of momentum to do a podcast and do stuff. So hopefully you can grow along with the show, as well as these friendships that we've just made literally over like just a month. So
Yeah.
be pretty cool.
Yeah. Great. All right. I'm going to end it here.
Thanks, Jesse.
Have a good
All right.
night and
Thanks.
good morning,
Jess.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Exactly.